You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions with your hosts, Cindy and Grace. Hi guys, this is Nice-ish, episode 5. Grace, how's your week going?
It's good. I went to Michael's a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
we love Michael's.
Yes, we love Michael's. We're very crafty people.
Yes.
So I wanted to do a Cricut project. I saw something cute online and thought, oh, I want to make that. So I needed a reusable bag, vinyl to put on the bag, and I needed a new Cricut blade for the machine.
So you're making some sort of bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go to Michael's. I'm like, okay, first mistake here too is that I didn't write a list down. Like, if it's 3 or more things, then...
You forget, because I always forget stuff, but I'm shocked that you forget stuff.
Well, I don't normally, but there was, a little bit of a distraction going as to why I forgot.
Okay.
So, basically, I walk in, all the Cricut stuff and all the vinyl stuff is together in our Michael's. Mm-hmm. So, I grab the Cricut blade, got it, go look and see what color vinyl I want to use. So, I'm looking through all the vinyl colors, and I literally hear... For the first time on the radio, for I don't know how long it's been, I heard the song I Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé. And I remembered being like, oh my God, I loved this song when it came out.
Yeah.
It was such a great song. It still is a great song.
Yeah, it is a good song.
But I am in the aisle by myself. I would not do this if there were people in there with me. But I started kind of like, humming along, dancing along. So I'm looking, I grab the vinyl, go to the checkout, pay for both of those things, leave, get in the car, turn on Spotify to find the song so I could actually sing the song in the car. Totally fine, jamming out, feeling really good. Like, oh my gosh, I just felt like I discovered
That's one of your
new
happy songs.
Yeah, just discovered it again, and it was so happy. I pull in the driveway, I get home, get to take out the stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun. I'm going to make this bag. I forgot the bag. So all the good feelings I had just literally were wiped away.
I get distracted very easily by stuff, too.
Oh, but you know what I got to tell you, too, though, is... So I'm looking for the song in Spotify, and I type it in, and it comes up under a Guilty Pleasures playlist, and I think, okay, first of all, how rude. This is not a guilty pleasure.
Right.
I am jamming out in the car right now. I don't consider it one.
No, I wouldn't either.
But you know what was considered one that you're going to die over? There was a Queen song in there.
That's just a crime against humanity. What song?
Actually, my favorite song, I Want to Break Free. That was the song that was considered
that a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
Who do I need to talk to? I need to contact somebody because that needs to be removed from the list.
Journey was in there too.
Oh my gosh.
Any Way You Want It and Don't Stop Believin'. Don't Stop Believin''s not a guilty pleasure. Everybody likes that song.
I think they need to reevaluate the definition of a guilty pleasure because usually it's kind of like a stupid song, but you love it anyway. That is my guilty pleasure. That is totally... I don't even know... I know zero words to that song except Mbop.
I know. That's like me with the song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, that's a great song.
It is. That was in there too, I think.
What? No, this is... I would actually really like this playlist, I think.
Right, I know. And there were songs on there that do qualify as guilty pleasures. Like...
Usually one-hit wonders are guilty pleasures.
Right, yes.
But you don't take a band like Queen and put a song in there. I'm actually a little pissed now.
I was pissed too. I was going through the songs and I'm like, I really don't think that this qualifies as one. Just because it's an older song doesn't mean that it qualifies as that.
Ugh.
So that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that stings. The Mbop is my guilty pleasure.
That might deserve to be in there, though. I can't.
I really wish I could sing along with that. I remember looking up the words once, and I'm like, no,
it's just
not
like,
gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like you hear the last one's like, like that's it, and then you get back into it, and then. But I can't tell you one word in that song.
I don't know any of the words at all. September's a great song, though.
It is a great song. I don't know the words to it, though. Only, like, the chorus part. I couldn't tell you any of the... chorus? What's the part? Is the chorus the part of the song that goes over and over again? Or
Yes, the chorus is the part that goes over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know the verses.
Yes, the verses. Thank you.
Oof.
I don't know.
It's a good thing you're cute.
Well. Well, I don't know the song either, so it wouldn't help.
Gosh, I'm trying to think if I have any other guilty pleasure songs. I actually probably have a lot. You know, anything from Hilary Duff, are those considered
I feel like a guilty
pleasures?
pleasure would constitute something that you wouldn't feel comfortable singing in front of somebody else.
Well, no,
Wouldn't you think that?
I totally sing her songs in the car.
And like that you'd be proud of it, though, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not proud.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming back to me now by Celine Dion they had on that list. I love that song. I mean, like, I get Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John and Kiki D. That makes sense. That I understand on there. I get it. And that Stacey's Mom song.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, God. Sandoval changed that, remember?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Schwartz's mom.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb.
But, like,
there better not be anything like Kelly Clarkson on there or...
There actually... I think there was. I actually think there was. Let me search it here.
I'm sorry. I just want to make a note that she is probably the most underrated singer of our lifetime.
I know.
I think she is phenomenal.
I would agree. I think so, too.
She just doesn't get the respect she deserves. She's so good.
Mm.
But there better not be a song on there by her, because that's just completely unfair, too.
No, I actually don't see one on here. I thought it was on here. But maybe I was just so pissed.
Maybe they took it off. Maybe there was a writing campaign and...
9 to 5 is on there, though, too.
Well...
I like that song.
I like it, too, but that would be a guilty pleasure.
I mean, like, Hold On by Wilson Phillips. I get why that's on here. I can understand it.
That is on my playlist.
I know, but, like, I can get it. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, when you and I sing that in the car, I try to do harmony, and it's pretty funny. Anything else?
Party in the USA.
That's a great song.
I'm hurt.
Maybe because it's not like these lyrics that are like poetic.
Maybe. I also don't get how Truly Madly Deeply by Savage Garden is in here either.
I introduced you to Savage Garden.
But that's
because I loved them. And I am proud to say that I introduced you to them and you listened to them as well.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's just a lot like that too. That I don't know.
I'm going to have to go through that because there are a bunch of songs that I would put on my playlist, although Hold On is already on it.
A lot of them have the little green, like, downloaded button next to them. A lot of the songs do. Like, I've already have them on a playlist.
What are they saying about our taste level?
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm angry. Because you're saying that I like things that are, you know...
tasteless.
Yeah.
I actually think I should contact Spotify on Twitter about Queen being on there.
I think we need to make a petition.
I would sign it over and over again.
Yeah.
Because that's bullshit. You don't pick a band like Queen or Journey and put them on that list.
It's not a guilty pleasure. Just because you're popular doesn't mean that that's what it is.
Actually, guilty pleasures aren't always popular either.
Yeah, I know.
It's that weird friggin' song that nobody likes that you know.
You know what song I was surprised wasn't on here, though? Is that Pussycat Dolls one, that Don't Show one. I was very shocked that didn't make... I'm like, Queen made the list, but that song didn't.
Yeah, that should be on there.
That was definitely a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's something that you kind of sing along with, but you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Why do I know the words to this?
Yeah, that's
Vanilla Ice, he should be on there.
Right.
You put Queen on there, but you don't put on the guy who stole from Queen.
You know what? He actually might have been on there. Let me look and see. I think he might have been. Yeah, it is on there. Okay. So he did make the list.
Well, that should be on there because that is a travesty.
That and Closing Time. I also don't know the words to that song either. I've heard it like a million times.
I don't know it either.
It's like the only part I know is Closing Time, and then that's it. And then like I don't know how much you can sing without it being considered.
I don't know that one either. I don't want to know it though. I don't care.
No, in spite.
That list is subjective.
I know. I'd like to know who made the list. So I would like you to start a petition on Twitter to get it removed.
Is there a name of who started the list? Because I will look for them.
No, there's not a name. It just says guilty pleasures on it. That's it. But it doesn't say who.
Well, I'm going to go down the list and add a bunch of those songs
Oh,
to my
wait a minute.
playlist.
Yeah, it says that the list was made for me. Does that mean that this isn't
So
subjective to me? Did I just get all bent out of shape for absolutely no reason? That is in little...
So they took your songs that you have in all your playlists and grabbed songs that they thought you would like.
Maybe that's why. Because like I see in little letters, it says
kind
made
of all
for...
clicking, isn't it?
Oh.
And
Wow.
that's why Ice Ice Baby's on there, because you like Queen.
Probably. So they probably took things that were...
Not in your playlist.
No wonder why I have so many in there.
You are a dope.
I'm sorry. Put down the pitchforks for Spotify. I think I figured it out. What? Sorry.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Yeah, no more campaign. We're fine. Everything's fine here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see.
I would like to know, though, that the anger was real that I felt, though.
Yeah, it was.
I was genuinely upset.
But
now I'm okay. Now I get that it's, it is literally subjective, like you said.
Yeah.
That they're just pulling stuff from me. Okay. I'm okay.
Crisis averted.
Yeah, let's just get into the
Let's
podcast.
move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
So before we get into talking about Bravo, why don't we touch first on the show Traitors?
Nice.
Yeah, we are super obsessed with this show.
Ugh, we watched every single country's version that they put on Peacock.
Yes, I think UK might be my favorite.
Yeah, I would agree.
The 2 seasons of UK Traitors were just so good.
I love their host too. I love Claudia.
Yeah, she's
so
great.
funny.
And we've watched Australia and we've watched New Zealand.
Yeah.
And now we're on season 3 of the Traitors US. And they released the cast list. I'll go according to shows. From Survivor, Rob Mariano, Tony Velachos, Jeremy Collins, and Carolyn Weiger. Big Brother, Brittany Haynes and Danielle Reyes. Bachelorette or Bachelor in Paradise is Wells Adams and Gabby Windy. Then they have a bunch of miscellaneous shows. Chriselle Staus from Selling Sunset. Bob the Drag Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race. Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser. Nikki Garcia from Total Bellas. She's a former professional wrestler. Lord Ivar Mountbatten, who is British royalty, Grace. Fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
Sam Asghari, who they have listed as model actor, but let's be real here.
Yeah.
Britney Spears acts.
Yeah.
And then Dylan Efron from Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
I was so excited to see that. At first, I saw the last name Efron, and then I realized it wasn't Zac Efron, and I was disappointed because I had, maybe still do, I don't know, the absolute biggest crush on him, just obsession with him.
Oh, you thought you were going to marry him.
I still do.
That could happen.
Yeah, why not?
You did have a cardboard cutout of him and a lot of posters on your wall.
Yeah, I had posters, and I specifically wanted posters of him. Like, I liked High School Musical, and I liked Hairspray, and I liked both of those movies, but I specifically wanted posters of him. I did not want the High School Musical poster. It had to just be him.
There was a Rolling Stone cover of him that you particularly liked.
He looked smoking hot on that. He was so cute.
Well, this is Dylan.
Yeah.
So,
Bummer.
and then we're going to focus on Bravo and Real Housewives. They have 6 people from Bravo on this season. Dorinda Medley from Real Housewives of New York.
Yes. Thank God. I'm so excited.
Let me read them all first.
I know, but I'm specifically excited for her, though.
Okay. Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai. Dolores Catania from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Robin Dixon from Real Housewives of Potomac. Sierra Miller from Summer House. And Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules. So we mentioned Dorinda first. Dorinda is my girl.
Yeah.
if you follow me, you know, Dorinda is like my all-time favorite.
Mm-hmm. Mine is Luann, but Dorinda is second for me.
Yeah,
like, close second.
She's one of those people who I will defend whether she deserves it or not, whether she's right or not. She's my ride or die. We've met her a couple times.
Yeah.
She's always been nice to me. I don't care if she's not nice to you. She's nice to me.
Right. She's been nothing but lovely.
To us.
Yes.
So, like, I don't care. I don't want my housewives to be all sweet and tender.
Right. That's
boring. I want her to be a bit of a ball buster.
Right.
And she is. So I don't care. I'm hoping she doesn't embarrass us. Oh, but if she does,
God, I know.
I will defend it.
I just need her to last a little bit. I am hoping that she doesn't say something or do something immediately that they're like, yeah, we got to get rid of her. So I just want her to last.
I know. Just hang in there, Dorinda.
Yeah.
Then there's Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai. I tried to watch Dubai. I watched part of the first season. I actually didn't get through the whole thing. And I'm assuming they had a reunion. That would be a first for me to not watch a reunion, and I didn't.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the first season. I agree. I don't think I watched all of it either. I definitely don't remember a reunion. But
yeah. But I like her.
Yeah.
I think she's fun and she's feisty and she could be great on this.
I'm going to need her to tone it down with the outfits, though, because Alan Cumming is the one who has the outfit game locked down.
Yeah, don't outshine the host.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's Dolores. How do you feel about Dolores?
I think if you were going to pick anybody from New Jersey, that she's the right pick.
Yeah?
I think that she kind of knows how to deal with people, and I think she would actually be good on the show. I don't think she would make too many waves. I think she would if she had to. But she can be a little bit low-key and doesn't have to be out there.
Until she's activated, and then...
Right, and then you better be afraid and watch out.
Which I like.
Yes. Yeah.
Then there's Robin Dixon, formerly of Real Housewives of Potomac.
Right, yeah, she's got a lot of time on her hands, so she was able to make the commitment.
Yeah. Rumor has it that it was actually supposed to be Candace and Monique.
Both of them?
That was the rumor. That was the word on the street.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know if Candace canceled because she's pregnant.
Yeah,
because
probably.
Apparently you can't do the show if you're pregnant.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if that's why she canceled or if she knew that they invited Monique. Because Monique was invited. She talked about it and said she just wasn't doing it because they didn't offer her enough money. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the story there. Who knows? But since neither are doing it, they asked Robin.
Out of stuff that didn't happen the most. You did not turn it down because they did not offer you enough money. That is definitely not what happened.
I mean, why not take your chance at being on TV again? I mean, she did stuff after Housewives. She did one of those love and marriage shows or something like that. But then that didn't work.
I was literally just
her and Chris, divorced. But so yeah, Robin wouldn't have been my first choice, but whatever, It
was Juan's first choice, but
he wanted them to ship her out so that he'd.
I was like, okay, bye.
That's mean.
Juan's mean. I'm not mean. I'm not the problem here.
No, you're not. Sierra Miller from Summer House. And that was another rumor that Lindsay was supposed to be on, but that she's pregnant. And that Sierra replaced Lindsay. Again, rumored.
Oh.
Not sure. I mean, I saw the pictures of her at Andrea's wedding. It's a little early, so you can't really tell.
Okay.
But, so Sierra, I think, would be a good choice.
I know. I'd like to see her by herself, too, to see if, I feel like I don't really know her personality as much because I know her with the girls, but I don't really know
I agree.
her. So.
And then last and least,
Oh, God.
Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules.
Ugh.
And what's interesting is when I tweeted this list out a while ago, I got a tweet from Sloppy Joey who said, 12 women, please God, don't let some alpha male dictate who gets eliminated. Let the women all decide Sandoval's trash and get rid of him episode 1. Please, please don't make me sit through a full season of him. I'm manifesting.
Yes,
So,
I would love that.
Yes, I'm sending that out into the universe too, that they all decide, hey, you know what? It's week 1. There's no possible way we could know who any of the traitors are. Mm-hmm. So let's just vote out Sandoval.
I hope Dorinda's the one to do it.
I do too. You can do it, girl.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's exactly true, though. You don't know unless somebody literally really messes up and says that they are or something or makes
He's a danger to women.
Yeah, just get him out of there.
Get him out of there.
Let him make $0 for going.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because I'm assuming it's based off of how long you last.
Let him owe the show for the plane ticket.
Yeah, he has to pay.
So, usually they pick 3 traitors, Grace. Why don't you give me your 3 choices for who you think will be chosen as the traitors?
Okay. I picked Wells as my first choice. I think that he is super personable. He's super likable. If you've never watched any of the Bachelor stuff or Bachelor in Paradise, on Bachelor in Paradise, they actually liked him so much, and people did, that he's now like the bartender. I mean, I don't know if he really makes drinks, but he's just kind of there for people to talk to him. So that's literally who he is for people to come and talk to him and tell them about their problems and things like that they're having on the show. So I think he would be perfect for it. Mm-hmm. My second choice is Dolores, because I think that they are going to pick somebody in the Bravo group. There's too many of them that one of them isn't going to be part of it. Mm-hmm. I think she'd be the best choice. I would have loved to have picked Dorinda, but I actually don't think she could do it. So Dolores, I think, can keep her cool too. She was a corrections officer before all this. She's not used to people rattling her. It's fine. I think she can keep a secret. I think she could pull it off well. Yeah. And so I picked her. And then I think that they will probably pick somebody from Survivor this time. Last year they picked Dan for Big Brother, and they didn't pick anybody from Survivor, so I think they're going to do that now that they have 4 people. I don't really know who. I just picked Boston Rob as one of them. I think you need a gamer in there out of the 3 of them. Uh-huh. So I just kind of thought, he's kind of a name. I think anybody that watches Survivor, even I remember him. We don't watch Survivor anymore, but I do remember his name. So I think they'd probably pick him, somebody who has a little bit of a gamer presence.
Well, those are good choices. We have one the same. I picked Wells as well, for pretty much the same reasons. Looks so easy to talk to that I think people would sit down with him, look at his cutie pie face, and literally tell them their social security number.
Yeah, I know.
You know, he's just that cute and that sweet. So I thought he would be a perfect choice. I did pick someone from Bravo, but I actually picked Sierra.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought, a lot of these people seem to be more on the older side. I thought having a younger one come in, and I don't know, try to navigate it. I thought it might be a good choice. She seems like a fun girl.
Okay.
So, and then my third pick was Sam Ashgari.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think, not that I know too much about him. I don't know how smart he is. I don't know what he really does. Uh-huh. But I thought that would kind of draw in the enormous crowd of Britney Spears fans, because they might either be, some might root for him, but most would probably be rooting against him. And I just thought seeing his name up there might be a sort of
celebrity, a bigger celebrity-ish type deal.
Sort of. It just might pull some people in.
Yeah, sure.
So those were my three. Wells, Sierra, and Sam. I'm really looking forward to the season, though. I know they're out there taping now.
Yeah, I know. I'm super excited. And it's interesting because I feel like this is one of those shows that they don't really get a lot of spoilers for.
Yeah.
You don't really know.
No, you
much,
don't.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
I know. I'm a spoiler girl. I like spoilers. I would like to know who won.
Oh, really? You want to literally...
Yeah. Like, I know they're still filming. I'd like to know who's in the lead, who's winning, who won. Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't ruin it for me. It really doesn't. I find if I'm prepared...
Yeah.
then I can just relax and watch the show.
I know. I am one of those people, too, that get anxious. Like, I have to make sure I wear a tank top when I'm watching these type of shows because I just get really anxious and I sweat. And I'm like, oh my God, if I don't know. Especially if it ends on a cliffhanger and I don't know what's going to happen. Or if you don't release all the episodes at one time.
Yeah, we're binge people.
Yeah.
We like to binge. But, so, looking forward to season 3 of The Traitors soon.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait. So let's get into the Summer House Part 2 reunion.
Okay.
I am still angry. As angry as I was in Part 1, I am just as angry in Part 2. I thought maybe it would be a little less of the,
Focus on Lindsay?
Yes, and I thought maybe we would get away from that, and we did not.
No, we did not.
And even when we got away from the two of them, it was all, like, bullshit stuff that nobody cared about, like for the first half. So I was not a fan.
No, I wasn't either. I think Kyle has a giant hard-on for Lindsay and is on her neck constantly.
Yeah.
It drove me insane because he probably, even more than Carl, I find Kyle to be more toxic.
I would agree.
I think him and Amanda are a horrible couple.
Yes.
They really showed how toxic their relationship is.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's talk about their kind of small segment of the reunion here.
Very small.
Because I felt like they were talking to Amanda, and she was talking about how, she was kind of getting depressed and things like that. And she's like, I couldn't believe that she was like, well, I get why he felt lonely because I was lonely too. Like, this isn't your fault. You're literally taking ownership of something that is literally all Kyle. Stop.
Of his poor behavior.
Yes. Nothing of his came out at all. Literally. Nothing about what he said to her ever got brought up, the way that he talked to her, and I was really disappointed by that.
It was ridiculous. Every single issue and fabricated issue that they had with Lindsay was brought up ad nauseum.
Yes.
That's how much was brought up about her. And for them to gloss over him calling his wife a fucking bitch and throwing shit, that wasn't addressed at all.
I know. So you would
none of their fights.
I know, none of them. Not a one. So you had actually tweeted out, once again, Bravo seems out of touch. Not a Lindsay fan, but you made me defend her continually because no one else was held accountable. You made Carl look like a victim. Where was the clip of Kyle calling his wife a fucking bitch? Mm-hmm. Where was that apology? I wondered that too. I was waiting for it. Didn't happen.
He made Lindsay apologize to Carl a billion times, but I didn't hear his apologies.
They are so lucky, the two of them, Kyle and Amanda, that they had Carl and Lindsay, because this season would have been about the two of them. So you just need to shut your mouth and
wait a year. Yeah. It'll be coming next year.
Exactly. But you got a response to that from @21 Dallas Cowboys, saying, I want to know why Andy is allowing everyone to attack her too, meaning Lindsay. Kyle and Amanda really need to stay out of it, as they're one of the most toxic couples. I also don't get why Kyle demands apologies from Lindsay to Carl. That's between the two of them. Carl hasn't been fully honest.
Yeah, I actually just said that too. Kyle stepped in constantly in defending Carl. Carl barely spoke. It was kind of weird.
It was very weird.
If Carl and Lindsay were allowed to just talk to each other, I think we might have gotten somewhere. Because at the very, very end of the reunion, Carl even said, I didn't expect the reaction I got from you. I expected you to tear me apart. I felt like you're acknowledging some things. It actually could have gone a completely different way. But having everyone against Lindsay, including the host, unfortunately.
Yes.
It went a nasty way.
I would agree. Lindsay was a lot kinder to Kyle than I would have been. If I knew the two of them and their relationship the way it was and I saw everything, you would bet that I wouldn't just be like, oh my God, dude, stay out of it. I would be like, are you for real? Do you hear the way that you talk to her and you're going to tell me that I talk to Carl a certain way? Mm-hmm. Like, let's back that up because you're not getting any of the heat that I'm getting and we're going to bring it up now. If Andy's not going to bring it up, then I'm going to because we're going to talk about it. Because you feel so open to talk about me.
Yeah, but then Lindsay would get torn apart for that too. Right. I mean, I find it very interesting that the cast is in Italy right now for Andrea's wedding and Amanda's not there. So, I mean, there are more rumors that are circulating about their marriage. Don't know if it's true. You know, whatever. However, the fact that she's not there, I think, speaks volumes.
I would agree.
And so, like, clean up your own yard.
Yeah.
Dude.
Do you think, too, I was kind of thinking about their relationship a little bit more, Kyle and Amanda's, and do you think that other than Kyle just being selfish, do you think that the reason why he wants to keep Amanda at Loverboy is kind of so she doesn't have a reason to leave him? Like, it kind of keeps her close
financially?
To him? Kind of financially in both. If they ever got a divorce, which, not if they ever do, when they, I'm going to say.
Oof.
Then she would kind of have her own money and all that stuff because she works at Loverboy. It's kind of the two of them and it's their shared income. She can't really break away.
It could be. We saw an interview or read an interview with him that said Loverboy was not only not making money, but they were like in the hole by like $3 million or something.
Yeah.
So he's very concerned, rightfully so. But you'd think you'd want your partner to have something else so that if this tanks, you do have other income.
Right. I don't know. I just felt like it was a very I don't know. When I started looking into it, I thought maybe that was kind of why he wanted her there.
Well, at first I thought, now the dude went out and got a DJ job. So not only were you selfish, but then you went and did another thing for yourself.
And nothing for Amanda.
What's up with that?
You're right.
But then I'm like, Andy asked Amanda at the reunion, what are you doing? And she's like, nothing.
Right. You need to do something
girl,
too.
What is stopping you?
I don't know. Because
unless
she
it's her depression, which is very real. So
right. That's also
if that's
true.
what it is, then, you know.
But also Kyle does all these things. She was talking about Kyle and how much she loved him and that they were best friends. And I'm like, best friends? Best friends don't treat each other that way. Your best friends are Paige and Sierra. Who are like,
true.
Literally, oh, you should go out and do something. Who push you to want to do that and are like, you don't see yourself how we see you. When has Kyle ever said that to her?
He's never been encouraging whatsoever.
So, know who your actual friend is. Your best friend is not Kyle, okay?
She was terrible this reunion, though. She was as annoying as Kyle was.
Yes.
Chirping up in these little comments and like, ugh.
I would have liked to have heard more from Gabby. Less from the two of them and more from Gabby.
I saw someone else who made a comment, too. Why is Kyle allowed to speak for Carl? Why is Amanda allowed to speak for Carl or Kyle? Why is Paige allowed to speak for Sierra, but Gabby can't do that for Lindsay?
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, that's all they did the entire reunion. Sierra barely talked about her issues with Wes. Paige literally did the whole thing. Which, I mean, I get and I
respect.
I guess I can appreciate that because you're a friend. But
But
let her speak.
why
But
can
I don't
Gabby
want
not do that?
Right. And I actually want to hear from Sierra. I don't really want to hear from you about how it's going with her.
Right.
And their relationship. So that was a bit irritating. But yes, exactly. I wanted to hear from Gabby. We barely heard from her.
Right.
This entire reunion. I actually think she spoke in part 2. I don't even know.
Which is the kiss of death, bringing him back for the next
I know.
season,
And I like Gabby too. So
I did too.
I
agree. I like her as well.
So we have another tweet here from @BDavisPSawyer23, who said, quite frankly, the entire Bravo production team needs to be fired and replaced. 2 shows having the biggest year they've ever had, meaning Vanderpump Rules and Summer House, and the producers infantilize the men and victimize the women. Remind me what network this is. I can't fathom how you missed the mark twice.
Right.
Totally agree.
What network is this? Yes.
I don't get it. What network are we on? All of your viewers are women and gay men. That is who your viewers are.
Yeah.
So why are we also Kyling? It's not even like these men are that great, by the way.
Ugh.
It's not like we're really trying to, give sympathy to somebody who deserves it.
Right.
None of these men deserve it.
No. There was no segment at all on Carl. And
No.
any of the gaslighting he's done, any of that. Nothing. There was nothing at all about Carl and anything.
I just don't get it too, especially when you saw the backlash you're getting about the Vanderpump Rules reunion too. About
trying to make
and
Sandoval
the whole
a
season.
hero.
Yeah, and trying to get him back in. That didn't play well. Nobody liked that. Everybody was like, what are you doing?
Right.
So you would think with Summer House that you would take this and be like, okay, let's
learn from it.
Let's go the other way here because we need to be focusing on the men.
Just be fair.
Or at the
Because
very
Lindsay
least.
is not a prize.
Yes, that is also true.
She has major issues too. These 2 should not have been married. I think everybody can agree that these 2 should not have gotten married. And Lindsay has done some pretty horrible things. So she's not a prize, but neither is Carl. So treat everyone fairly.
Right.
Ask everyone questions. Don't only focus on her. It's not fair. It's bullshit. And women are tired of it.
I know. Speaking of that too, so we have also a tweet from @realityqueen with 3 Ys that said, Carl sitting on the stage like a victim and these dumb women on the show are eating it up. Please stop. That's how I felt.
Yes.
Yes, these women. Oh my gosh. Like, I get that you have never been friends with Lindsay. You've kind of always just had a back and forth relationship. But stop speaking for Carl. Stop coming to his defense all the time. Just shut up.
Well,
Literally.
in response to this tweet, I remember Carl literally saying, oh, I have so much baggage. Who's going to want me? I need to let everybody know. And Paige saying, stop saying that about yourself. Be kinder to yourself or whatever she said. I'm thinking, well, oh, come on.
Yeah, he's like, I haven't had sex with anybody or even kissed anybody since Lindsay. And Lindsay's moved on already. So, she's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to mention about their rent in their apartment.
Oh, yes.
Because I was so angry about this part in particular. Lindsay literally says that they signed the lease together. Mm-hmm. So, therefore, for the year that they're going to both pay on it, she decided to stay there. So, she's going to take the lease in full.
In June. So, she'll pay for it in full in June.
Mm-hmm. And then everybody was kind of like, oh, so you have enough money to pay for it yourself, and you have enough money, like,
and you
were
still
making
took his money,
right? Yeah, you signed a lease together. Just because Carl wasn't there and you blew up the wedding doesn't mean that you still don't have financial responsibilities.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? Yeah, it's just like, you want a pat on the back for that?
He could have stayed there.
Yeah.
It would have been horrible, so he chose to leave. But that's a contract. He signed a contract for rent.
Yes.
So you're responsible for it.
And you're going to pay it regardless of if you're there or not.
Right. So I don't know what he was getting at there either. Sorry. We were together. We made that decision. And we're both responsible till the end.
Right. And I would have kept it going. You're the one that called it off. You're the one that said that, which I think they should have done.
Right.
But that doesn't just free you of all responsibility.
Right.
So that was the choice you made.
Right.
So
you're
stop
not
acting.
a hero.
No. And also what was annoying too is that they were talking about, I get when it came up about the job, like why did Lindsay want focus on Carl? Why was that not a job? Like the social media stuff and the show,
because they both have the same exact job as an influencer. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I will say that probably was the worst I've seen, like, for Lindsay to look. Like, they did make a point.
A bit hypocritical.
Yeah. But then I kind of started thinking about it, too. And I'm like, well, she did used to have her PR firm. I don't know if she would ever go back to that. But I also don't know Lindsay's spending habits. I have no idea. She might be a saver. She might be invested in all these different things, and I have no idea. She might be set completely. Like, after the show is done, she might be like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't need to work. Carl might. I don't know, especially after him spending $20,000 on a, like, career coach. You're clearly spending money. You're clearly spending a lot more than Lindsay does.
How many magic kits does he have?
You're buying stuff that nobody ever needs.
Sorry, that was a Office reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't know either. I do think it came off a bit hypocritical, but at the same time, Carl, I thought, wanted a job.
Well, that's also it, too. We were talking about Carl because Carl implied that he wanted to have something else.
Right.
Lindsay didn't say that she needed anything else. And actually, I think the point was Carl would get a job and she would take care of their kids. I thought that was kind of the agreed upon thing.
Right.
So it's not like it's a hypocritical thing. It's when you're not shooting summer. Yeah. So I thought that was stupid too. Everybody just kept kind of, everything Lindsay said was wrong, and they would like either snicker or like nitpick what she said.
It's like apart.
She's not an idiot. Like if I can understand what she's talking about, I'm an idiot. And if I can understand what she's talking about, then I don't know how you fools can't.
It's just too much that every single thing she said, 5 people jumped on her for.
Yes.
I just, ugh.
It doesn't matter who it is. A gang up of any kind is not usually fun to watch unless it's Sandoval.
Right.
Then it's fun.
Right.
But other than that, not anybody. Even if it was the opposite way around, I would be like, oh, we're really ganging up on Carl here.
I know.
You know? Just make it fair. That's it.
Exactly.
But I think the thing that was really confusing was when Andy brought up that production didn't know what they were about to shoot.
Right. Right. I don't think anyone bought it. Maybe the guys sitting there, but 99.9% of the tweets that I saw, no one was buying that.
Well, one of the people that did not buy it was at Ryan Bailey 25, or Ryan. I get a kick out of every time I see that. It's so funny. It will never not be funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
But he said, reality shows have strict budgets. Why shoot extra days unless they have a strong suspicion they know the outcome of the footage? We had already seen numerous Carl and Lindsay fights all summer. Why see one more unless they thought they might film the breakup?
Exactly.
Yes. Exactly.
That's exactly right. We have seen them fight all season. You had wrapped the show. It was done, in the can, whatever.
Yeah.
Why on earth would production, like Lindsay said, why am I getting an email that we're shooting again? She had no idea why. Mm-hmm. So the only way this would have happened is if Carl called them.
Yes.
My scenario in my head is that Carl called Kyle and said, I'm done. I don't want to get married. I'm not sure I even want to be with her anymore. We're fighting all the time. I've spent the last 3 days in the guest room. We're supposed to be getting married in 2 months. I'm ending things.
Yeah.
And Kyle was completely supportive and said, dude, let's call production. Let's get it on tape so she can't change anything that you say, make you look bad. Let's call them. They called production. They told them what was happening, and production said, let's film it.
Yes.
It's the only thing in my head that makes sense.
Right, because, I mean, you have to have shot lists for stuff, too. There's no way that they could just, like, grab cameras and just go.
And they're not
how would they know?
readers.
And how would they know?
Exactly.
How would they know?
They
unless
wouldn't know.
somebody said it was either Carl or Kyle. I don't know, unless somebody called.
Yes.
And we know that from the Vanderpump Rules stuff that Ariana is the one that called production to tell them to come over and to film this. So I think it was a very similar scenario to that, which is like, I want proof of this going down, and I want it on camera.
I want it on camera. We fight dirty.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's just the ending was so wrapped up in a bow. You could have literally left it. That's how it would have ended. They all go to Montauk, and that was it after they were at the house. They all said, bye, house, and then they leave, and then that would have been the end. Yeah.
That's how it should have ended. There's no reason why production would have started up again to film a scene of them fighting when they've fought all summer.
I think that that's where Lindsay means that she felt blindsided, because I think in the relationship, no, I don't think it's a blindside, but I think maybe she was like, why are we filming again? This is weird. And then in that way it was.
I can accept that, because I don't think she should have felt blindsided in them potentially not getting married, because it was such a shit show.
Right.
And he at one point even said, I don't think we should get married, or I'm having second thoughts. So I don't feel a blindside that way. This, filming it, I can understand where maybe that's what she's meant by it, but, and I don't necessarily have she said she felt she deserved more respect. I don't know. I'm glad we saw it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. So, do I have a problem with him calling them? No. But don't act like you didn't.
Yes.
Once again, Carl's acting like he's done nothing.
And you have Andy, who's the host, on his side, who'd be like a huge disclaimer, like, we didn't do that. Production's in way more than we know. We know that about Vanderpump Rules based off of this season and what Sheena said about it. We know that they kind of know everything. Right. So let's not try to make the audience seem,
like we're fools. Yes. You can't pull this over on us. No, we see you.
It's a lot to ask of the audience.
We see you, Andy.
Yeah. I know. So that's kind of how it ended. But I am hoping that we next season get the Kyle and Amanda show. Because
I love that. I have thoughts already.
Because this season they got lucky. And I don't think it will happen next season. It will all come to a boiling point. But what are your thoughts, though?
Well, if we don't see social media posts about their marriage crashing and burning this summer, then we might next season. Now, I don't want to come off like I'm rooting for it.
I'm rooting for it for her. I want her to do it. Sorry. I am.
Really?
I don't think Kyle is good for her.
Well, she definitely deserves better.
She can do better, I think, too. I think he really brings her down. And she could do all these different things with the support that she has of the women.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that...
And all she wants is somebody to be faithful.
Oh my God, I know. How hard is that? Has he cheated on her twice? I think it's twice. That we know of. That he knows of. He barely even knew the other one.
Because yes, I don't know. It's a horrible way to live, wondering if every time your partner goes out, if they're not bringing something back with them because they've been unfaithful. So it's not a fun way to live. I imagine at some point she'll get tired of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say
for better for her too, because right now I'm not liking her very much. Right. But maybe she can reach her full potential if she wasn't with him.
Do you think Amanda would ever leave Kyle?
I don't know.
Not should she, but do you think she would?
I would think with the support of her family and her friends, then yeah, I think so.
Because I don't know. Because I feel like that's what she wants to do, especially when Carl was like, I am canceling the wedding, and she was like, oh, I could never do what he did.
Yeah, you're
then
right.
I'm like, really?
I know. She's a lot younger, though. She's like 10 years younger than Kyle.
Yeah.
So she's still got a lot of time.
I know. Just can his ass and let's get it moving.
Yeah.
And let's get new men for the show.
Well, I liked Jesse. Yeah. And I actually do like West. I think he got spooked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a good look. We didn't talk about West really at all. But
no.
I do like him. But he just came off like a giant putz, you know? Like, he just...
I know. For somebody who's so confident and can present themselves that way, it really was a step back for this reunion, because I'm like, you seem like you don't know what you're talking about or what you're saying, or it was
seemed
very
scared.
Weird. Yeah.
So I liked them both. I liked Jesse's honesty about his cancer and all that stuff, and I do think when he finds the right girl, then maybe he won't be such a
little
boy.
Douchey. Yeah, he's just a little bit. For some reason, I like him too, but all of his tendencies, if I went back, I'm like, oh, you're a little douchey, but you got like a funny,
right,
personality, and you smile all the time, so it's like, oh, I kind of like you.
Right, I know. Why do we give men passes?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, we'll see what happens next season.
I know.
So now it's time for my favorite part of the podcast, which is our Married to Medicine rewatch.
Yay.
We're on season 1, episode 2, and the last episode ended with Quad walking in late to Mariah's docs on the dock party. Mm-hmm. So that's how it ended. And when we pick up, Quad walks down, sees all the women together, and she's still really upset with Toya and Carrie. They, in episode 1, had a fight at Mariah's birthday party, and they each kind of said some things, and it didn't end well. So Carrie kind of wants to smooth things over, but Quad's not ready for that yet.
No, she's got to get her punches in.
Yeah, you can't come for me and then want to end things.
Right.
I have to be able to respond.
Yes. Also, the music that they had with her walking down the steps, like, it was basically like that she's got so much more to do and that she's on a mission, kind of.
Yes.
It was so funny.
Because we watched with the captions on.
Yeah.
It was a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not done
yet. It fit
yet.
perfectly. Like, no, I am coming in and I am ready to say what I have to say.
And then her quote was, I'm well prepared. Who am I going to get first?
Carrie. You're going to get first.
And only Carrie. I don't actually think she said anything to Toya.
No.
In fact, she didn't even say hello to Toya.
Yeah. Toya wasn't barely even there.
Like, she was not there.
Yes.
At all in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
She told her to catch fire, which we find out means go to hell. So, well, she starts talking to Carrie, though, Quad, and starts asking her about her marriage, which you can see, like, something's going on in her head.
Right.
Like, oh, you want to know about my marriage? And she finds out that it wasn't Duncan's first marriage. He had been married before. And so Carrie tells her that Duncan was separated when she met, and he was living in his own apartment. Mm-hmm. And they were still married, but separated. And Quad just kept going, oh, that's so interesting. That's so interesting. So he was married. Yeah. Like, she kept focusing on the married part, not that he was literally living apart and separated.
Right.
And Carrie was kind of not sure where this was going, and then Quad dropped the bomb, calling her a medical mistress.
Oh my God. Which was kind of funny because it doesn't really make sense. But, like, yeah, I mean, if you're separate, there are tons of people who are separated, who are living, alone and stuff like that. They're technically married. I mean,
divorces take a long time.
I mean, look at Bethany and Jason.
Oh,
how long that took. I mean, if you would consider, well, Luann did actually. Yeah. Luann considered her married.
Poor example.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. If Carrie's telling it the way that it actually happened, if that's actually true.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it either. They weren't living together. They weren't trying to work things out. They were getting a divorce. It hadn't officially happened. So they're separated and living apart.
Yeah.
And she met him.
Right.
So I don't see anything wrong with it either. But that's
the only thing.
Semantics with Quad.
Right. That's the only thing Quad could find that she could Google that she could have.
That's not the only thing, but it's coming up.
Yeah.
So that whole thing was all kind of stupid. So I didn't take offense to it, really. Mm-hmm. Carrie was upset a little bit, but it wasn't dark.
It was just kind of more dramatic.
Yeah.
Than, yeah.
Yeah. So, Simone hears about it and is kind of like, tone it down, Quad. You can't say this to people. You can't talk like that. And Quad was a little pissed at Simone. She's like, don't tell me what I can and can't say. If you come for me, I get to come for you.
Yeah.
You know, no, I'm not taking your advice. You can keep it. And so then Carrie and Quad get back into a group to talk with the women. And this time it's just Mariah's mom, and Mariah's sister, along with Carrie and Quad. And they're all talking, kind of sparring back and forth. It's really kind of lighthearted at this point.
Yeah.
And stupid.
Right,
because
exactly.
They're really focusing a lot on birds, which is, it's weird. Quad calls Carrie ruffled and tells her to fly away with these bird motions. And then Quad gets upset at something Carrie says, and Carrie tells her she can fly south and fly to the moon.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of
just
stupid.
Right. So yeah, they're Mariah and her sisters and stuff. They're laughing.
Yeah.
Mariah and her mom. And
everybody's laughing at this point until things take a really dark turn. After Carrie had mentioned that comment about being on the moon, Quad then replies with, "Where are you? In someone's anorexic clinic?" Yeah. And I don't know if that was public knowledge. It didn't seem like it, but I'm not sure how Quad would have known unless she was just taking a guess because Carrie's so thin.
Right. Could have been that. I mean, Carrie said she didn't tell a lot of people that.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe Quad was, just kind of
making a jab at her, but she seemed really pleased with herself. In fact, in her confessional, she kind of did like a punch and was like, strike.
Yeah.
Like, target hit.
Yes.
And it didn't land really the way I think she thought it was going to land. It was kind of cruel.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think everybody was a bit uncomfortable, including Mariah and her mom and her sister.
Yeah, she said they all just kind of stood there for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to make these stupid comments and go back and forth and you're a medical mistress, which is a completely made up title.
Right. Yes.
And stuff like that. But to then start taking jabs at her body and how thin she is and that people die from anorexia.
Yeah, and the thought that you clearly thought that she probably had that issue.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't saying it just because...
Well, she did even say something like, "Poor you," or something. Yeah. There was a comment like, "Hope you're okay."
Uh-huh.
It was all very cruel.
Yeah.
So I know she wanted to get back at her, but that just wasn't the way to do it.
No, I think if she had left it at the medical mistress thing and the just going back and forth kind of like that, it would have been fine and actually would have been funny. I don't think that anything much would have happened differently.
And I think they both would have gotten over it.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have been like, okay, you said that he was a psychologist and not a psychiatrist, and then you said I was a medical mistress. Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah. I think it would have moved on. But this took it to a place it didn't need to go. And so it Yeah, it didn't end nicely.
No, it didn't. We'll see about the reunion too, and if this comment I'm sure it'll get brought up. I don't remember what happened because we've only seen these episodes once, so.
I agree. I'm looking forward to the reunion. I don't remember what happened, but I'm sure something like that would have been brought up.
Yeah.
So hopefully she regrets it. Something else interesting was mentioned in this episode, and it was kind of a quick, innocuous comment that you don't think too much of, but it has major repercussions later, which is that Eugene mentioned that Mariah's daughter was adopted by Aiden.
Right.
And it sounds like no one really knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And for sure her daughter didn't know. We find that out later. Not only did her daughter not know, but this comes back hard in the next few episodes.
Yep.
When Mariah finds out that it's been said and talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it leads to probably one of the most memorable episodes of any season of Married to Medicine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do remember. I don't remember a lot from season 1, but I do remember that fight.
Yes, huge. Another interesting comment that was made was that Mariah had said Quad has to control her behavior or she'll be the outcast of the group, which I thought was kind of funny knowing what we know now, where Quad's relationship with all the women is currently this last season. She's not in a good place.
Right.
So hearing this in season 1 that Quad could become the outcast was like major foreshadowing.
I know. I caught that too when Mariah said that. I was like, oh, well, that's kind of how it's gonna happen. I mean, I know that they are all filming together now. I mean,
right.
We saw a picture of them with Quad. So, I mean, I'm hoping things are better. But, because I do like when they all film together.
I
but
agree.
Definitely, though, this is the message to take.
Yeah, it was interesting. So, Mariah and Carrie decide that they're going to host a joint birthday party for their husbands. And it's going to be at Carrie's house. And Carrie decides to disinvite Quad after the nightmare at Doc's on the dock, and sends her a text. And we don't see the text, but we hear about it because she's telling Toya. And she tells Toya, she said to Quad, if one day you get your act together and start acting like a doctor's wife instead of a low-class whore... We don't hear the end because Toya gasps. Mm-hmm. They kind of start laughing, and she couldn't believe. She's like, you sent that? And she's like, yeah, I sent it.
Mm-hmm.
And what Quad thought would be the end of this, because she took a shot at me, I took a shot at her, it's squashed, we're good, she won't come for me again. No, that didn't happen.
Right.
Carrie didn't let it go.
No, and she was like, boom, disinviting. Not letting you in my house.
And actually, her husband Duncan is not cool with that. Carrie tells Duncan that she disinvited her, and he's like, no, you're not doing that. I'm friends with all these men, and I want to continue having professional working relationships with all these men. So what you're going to do is you're going to re-invite Quad to the party.
Yep.
And she's like, okay.
After she tries to give him an x-ray that
didn't go well.
Yeah, no, that was just scissors, apparently. She didn't even get his body.
He said he was going to glow in the dark from all the radiation. That was a funny moment. So at this point, Mariah doesn't know this. And she meets with Quad. And Quad tells her she's been disinvited. And Mariah is pissed. Mm-hmm. She's like, you're my best friend. She can't do this. I'm paying for half the party. You're coming. So she plans on talking to Carrie, which is going to be episode 3.
Right.
We saw coming attractions, and it does not go well.
No.
We're in episode 3, Grace.
I know.
3. And there have been fights everywhere.
Fracturing.
Yeah, it's splintering apart.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Carrie and Mariah are close.
Right. She said that they had been friends for like 4 years.
Yeah, and they seem like good friends. So for this to happen this early, it's just like, how do you guys get along without cameras for 4 years, and then you get a camera in front of you, and by episode 3, you are mortal enemies.
I know. And what's funny, too, is that Carrie thought that Quad was going to be the problem at the party.
Yeah.
She is not the problem.
No.
This is Mariah and Toya.
It is so hard not to binge these episodes.
I know.
Because we've only seen them once, it's killing me. I want to do what we did the first time. We got through like 8 seasons. I think it was on season 8 when we started binging. Mm-hmm. And we got through them in all 8 seasons in less than a month.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
So, but I get it. We don't want them all to run together. We want to have our notes separate and be able to talk about it. So this is the most restraint I've had in a long time. So that wraps up episode 5. Remember to watch season 1, episode 3 of Married to Medicine before next week's podcast, and tag us on Twitter or Instagram in any comments that you want to discuss. You can follow us at Nice-ish Podcast or Love Cindy C on both. You can also listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thanks for listening and have a nice-ish day.